So we have this saying in the Navy, stand by for heavy rolls, and that's kind of what this whole cancer journey has been like. And I don't know why they call it a journey. To me, when I think of a journey, I think of something that I want to be doing, like going to Italy this summer, which is probably not going to happen anymore, or going to Orlando with the family, which also is probably not going to happen anymore. So I don't know why they call this a journey. Maybe a crucible is more like it, or a torture chamber. I don't know. Anyway, just as a reminder, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy going through prostate cancer, and so nothing I say should be taken as advice, or at least medical advice anyway. And of course, as aforementioned, we'll be talking about prostate cancer. So if that bugs you, just know what you're getting into. Okay, so it hasn't been that long since the last update. The last update, I mentioned that I was going to MSK to try to decide which path I'm taking in this fork in the road. And it's been kind of a whirlwind. So Memorial Day, my 1 year anniversary of diagnosis, was Monday. Tuesday I wake up, I fly to New York, had some really good vegan food in New York. I think every place I've been in New York that serves vegan food has been really good. So lucky there. It's definitely not Florida vegan. And then I woke up Wednesday and went to Memorial Sloan Kettering. Now, Memorial Sloan Kettering, when they made the appointment with me and called me, said, hey, bring your most recent scans. I said, great, I have them on CD-ROM. She said, no problem, go ahead and bring those scans up here and we'll upload them while you're here. So I did that. Well, the doc walks in, and she didn't say this exactly, but in so many words, hey, I'm sorry you had to fly up here for nothing. And she basically just said, hey, I need a lot more time to take a look at your most recent scan compared to the original scan, kind of see what the biology is doing and what it's telling me. She did say that in her gut, she felt like, yes, radiation would probably be the path to go down, but she wanted to have the radiological oncologist there take a look at the scans and then kind of get back to me. And she told me she'd give me a call today. And so today is just the next day. I was coming home at 5 p.m. and true to her word, she gave me a call. And she said, hey, listen, had the head of radiology and this other radiological oncologist take a look at the scans, and we have a concern about this lymph node in the paratracheal node, which is just in the chest, right by the esophagus. And in full disclosure, every single doctor that I've seen on this journey has mentioned, hey, that's a really odd place for the prostate cancer to go. And that's exactly what she said. She said, look, prostate cancer doesn't go there. And she also thinks, and the doc also thinks, that it looks like it's gotten a little bigger on the second scan than it was in the first scan, which also gives them pause. And she said, look, it could be nothing. It could be esophageal cancer. It could be prostate cancer, just like everybody's kind of chalking it up to be. But they just don't know. And she mentioned even possibly needing to get it biopsied. But anyway, it's an area of concern for her and the other doctors. And they want some other stuff done, partly to answer that question or try to get an answer to that question. But also, then how she put it, and I understand it, she wants to be 110% sure that the radiation is going to be beneficial before she subjects my body to the treatment. So, you know, if this isn't prostate cancer here, then why radiate my body if this is still going to be here doing something else? So she said what she wants to have done is she wants me to get a prostate MRI, or an MRI of my prostate, and then do a CT scan of my chest abdomen, and pelvis. And then do another PSMA PET scan, which the last one was in February, so I don't know what insurance is going to say about that. Of course, I also don't know what Dr. here is going to say about it, because, of course, this morning, before any of that, I went to Panama City and I had the simulation where they tattoo me, have me lay on the scanner, and empty colon, full bladder, in preparation for radiation treatment. Didn't have this session today. I just did the preliminary session. Because, of course, this thing is supposed to move fast because I only have a certain amount of time for this radiologist to treat me. So I don't know. So I asked the doc, I'm like, all right, well, who's supposed to order this stuff? Which doc? My urologist? I don't think so. The radiological oncologist? Possibly. And she said, yes, that doc should order it. And she was thankful. She did say, hey, if for whatever reason you're having problems with that, get in touch with me and we'll do the heavy lifting up here. And she also said, of course, that doc can call her and, they can have a powwow as far as why they want that other stuff to happen. So not just the chest, but they're also, in the first scan, if you remember, the scan showed invasion into or spread to the seminal vesicle, as well as possible intrusion. And intrusion is maybe not the right word. I can't remember how they phrased it, but they were worried that it had spread to the rectal wall. If you remember, one of the symptoms I had right before I went to the emergency room to get diagnosed was I was constipated. And so that was from the intrusion, because the prostate had gotten so big it was pushing on the rectal wall. So she wants to see, as the doctors do, they want to really kind of see, hey, is it still there, is it not? Because if it's still pressing against the rectal wall, then the radiation, according to her, gets tricky and is a lot more sensitive or dangerous or whatnot. So yeah, so I don't know what's going on. I emailed, because of course I don't have anybody's number and you can't get in touch with any doctor over the phone, but they have been pretty good about getting back in touch with me. But I have, tonight, after hours, I did send my urologist and the radiologist an email letting them know what the GU at Memorial Sloan Kettering said. Hopefully I get a phone call tomorrow and we can kind of speed it up. I'm not holding my breath, only because, for example, I saw the urologist 3 weeks ago and I was supposed to have gotten an MRI on my back for the back pain, and I still haven't gotten a call to set up that appointment. So maybe if we can just change it to a prostate MRI. But of course, so I think there's two kinds of prostate MRIs. There's the prostate MRI where you get on the bed, they inject you with the dye, and they send you in the camera or the magnets, and they do their thing. Then there's the MRI that you get when you're getting a biopsy, which is a MRI guided biopsy, where they shove a tube up your butt and then they take pictures that way. I'm hoping for the former and not the latter, of course. So that's where I'm at. You probably can bet on another update as soon as I get some more additional information. But right now, I think I'm probably in a holding pattern before I get the radiation. And I only have probably about a week or so to push before maybe radiation becomes untenable for the summer, at least with this radiologist. So never a dull moment. But even with all that said, I still believe, and I hope you do too, that anything is possible.